Hi, welcome back to Tiny Classrooms Live.
Hi, the doctor here, Don Zulu from Taos, New Mexico.
And I'm Artie Nathan, the HR guy from the Adirondack Mountains in upstate New York. And our topic today is leading your remote team away from burnout, not towards it.
Yeah, and that's been a lot of challenges. And so, as you know, as we both know, the recent challenges have made leading remote teams even tougher than it always was. We always saw articles about how to lead your remote team and the things that you had to deal with. And in this case, though, preventing burnout from work presents new challenges for companies. And their managers, and that managers have to understand the unique challenges of remote employees and their remote work.
Studies have started to show that working from home means people are working longer hours, not
Hmm.
shorter.
Yeah,
Even if they have distractions at home, they don't have colleagues to work with and go talk to during the day.
right,
They don't have a boss who's standing around saying, do this, don't do that. And
right.
so I think they just sit in front of their computers. They just keep working
Yeah.
and they don't know if they're working too much or too little. And they start to get burned out. And a manager's job is really to help people away from burnout. So, Doc, what is burnout really?
Burnout is like running out of gas in your car. It's exhaustion, it's stress related to worry about whether you're working enough. Am I doing the right thing? And the loss of the sort of normal human contact that you would have in the office that you just mentioned. All that taken together, plus working more than you actually did at the office, it just drains you. And sooner or later, if you don't watch it, you're going to be exhausted.
That's right. And so I think one of the things that is starting to happen that is employees don't know or understand new expectations and accountability practices. So they
Right.
work by themselves. They don't get enough feedback. They don't know exactly if they're on point or off point, and they have to wait for a meeting. They just can't walk into their boss's office or have the
Right.
boss walk in on them and
That's right.
say, "How you doing?" And so they tend to lose their way, and that's unsettling.
It's very unsettling. And something that emerges from that, at least in part, is that employees tend to feel untrusted and unseen and unheard. And certainly the unseen and unheard, it's easy to understand when you're working remotely, but the trust issue, ongoing meaningful communication, the stuff that happens at an office, at your workplace, uh, helps to establish the environment of trust and accountability. And you got to figure out that we have to give remote employees a sense of independence and a way to show uh, the great work that they are doing. They need extra connection, extra acknowledgement, extra communication than was kind of normal in the office, where you could communicate around the water machine.
Yeah, and you can't be out of sight, out of mind either, right?
That's right. That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right.
I think another thing is employees are having trouble separating work and life.
Yeah.
If your kids are home, if the dog is home, uh, if there's a refrigerator over there that you can just get up and snack from,
Yeah.
tend to blur the lines between the two. And as that happens, you start to feel like I'm not really doing enough in either world. And now I'm getting nervous about that. And that can lead to burnout.
That's exactly right. And then you and I are good examples of people who spent large parts of our career anyway working in our own office, maybe with managing teams of people, but usually virtually. And learning how to work effectively at by yourself is really quite a daunting process. So we can really appreciate that. And
It really,
employees feel, go ahead.
you know, when I used to work in the casino business,
Yeah.
thousands of employees and lots of stuff that you have to go do and
Yeah.
connected all day long. And without that, it's sort of disconcerting.
Yeah, it certainly can be. And employees tend to feel detached from the team and the organizational culture as well, don't they? And that's disconcerting. It's being detached from all those touch points that you use to reference your day and your worth and how well you were doing. And so we as managers have to make sure that the culture that we had at work, at the office, is somehow extended through this remote environment so that people still feel connected to their culture and to their value.
And the same vein, employees feel isolated.
Yeah.
and well,
Yeah.
they came from an environment where there was a lot of stimulation, a lot of people, a lot of stuff
Yep.
going, and
Yep.
all of a sudden it's just you in front of your computer or looking at others through their computers. And
Right.
it's not the same. And so that loneliness and that isolation
Yeah.
starts to play in your mind. You start to question your own self-worth and
Hmm.
whether your value to the team is really there because you may not be getting enough feedback from it.
That's exactly right, and that's something very important that should be paid attention to. And employees tend not to know how to create boundaries with their colleagues as well in this remote environment. You know, at the office, the boundaries were pretty easy to establish if you close your office door, uh, you know, and so on. But here, everything's virtual. How do I create boundaries? You know, how do I make sure that the most productive part of my day is not interrupted, and so on and so forth. So learning to create boundaries, even though you're virtual, is very, very important.
It is. And, you feel conflicted because you don't want to say no to a Zoom meeting invitation.
That's
You
right.
don't want
Oh,
to say no. You don't know what that's causing wherever
yeah,
it's coming
yeah,
from. So
yeah.
all of these things tend to play in an employee's mind. And because they're alone, they only have themselves to talk it through with.
Right.
So it can lead to burnout. And you, the manager, you have to understand these things and actively work to stop them from happening.
That's absolutely right. So that's it for today. Thank you for being here, Artie. Say
Thank you.
goodnight. Bye bye.